Um, it didn't look great for us when they were 3 down, and obviously AB and Faf were doing it quite easy. And even when Doomany came in, it was tough work for us. But in saying that too, the ball started to reverse swing and probably went soft as well. So we knew if we got a couple of those big wickets that it would start to get hard to score. And as you've seen, just on a wicket like this, when you're in, your first 20 balls are very hard to get going. And we continued to take wickets, and yeah, luckily they had quite a long tail as well. We just spoke about at the drinks break in particular that if we were to get AB out, obviously with the longer tail, starting is going to be hard and the run rate's going to go up. And as you've seen, it went from 6s pretty quickly up to 8s and 9s. And yeah, when you're bowling to the tail, it's hard. It's really hard to start out there. So that was made it easier for us. I came on a pretty nice situation. Bihardine was in, and I think Parnell. My plans are pretty simple. I was probably trying to get Bihardine off strike and bowl to the lefties, bowl some wrongers and sliders. It would have been pretty hard to hit, I think. But yeah, I do really enjoy bowling in those situations. I think that was set up perfectly for me. Yeah, it's a nice spot to be on the ladder at the moment. Obviously, coming up in a pretty important game against West Indies. If we win that, probably going a long way to be in the final. We do take confidence out of that. I think we've been bowling really well as a unit. Obviously a bit disappointing with the bat in Guyana, but that happens on wickets like that. And yeah, we've been bowling really well, so we can take confidence out of that. I don't really change my bowling too much, even at the MCG. Like, obviously you can bowl into the wicket and it's a decent hit, but the wicket's different. If you bowl that type of length here, it can sit up, and as you've seen last game, I tried to do that and I got hit over mid-wicket a few times. But yeah, it's very similar. We play on grounds like this all the time. Obviously, my first one-day tour was in New Zealand. It's very similar sized grounds, and the Matador Cup. We play a lot of games at North Sydney and places like that, so it's not something that we're not used to. It is about the hardest thing about bowling to AB is that he's a very good reader of the game. Same as Faf. You got a field set and they can probably tell where you're going to bowl the ball, and they're very quick thinkers. So that's what makes it the hardest, I think.
In terms of confidence, how much confidence does that give you bowling from this pavilion end, given it was the short straight boundary, and also given that you're bowling for right-handers to hit with the wind, and yet you were still able to deliver?
I think that probably just helped my shape a little bit as well. If anything, it was not some drift into the batter, and then obviously it's still harder to hit across the line than it is to hit straight. So the plan was to try and get them to hit across the line as much as possible. Try and bowl that pace where you can't really come down to you. And I didn't really get hit over my head too often. The plan kind of worked.
What about the pace you bowled tonight? Because I guess it was one of those surfaces where you really had to assess what pace to bowl.
Yeah, I think the faster you bowl, I think particularly when it's not under lights, first innings spins a little bit more, and then as you've seen, particularly the first 20-25 overs for us, it probably started to slide on a little bit more, and then we got brought back into the game due to reverse swing. But I think conditions under lights probably don't really suit spin bowling as much, so got to try and hit the stumps as much as possible. But yeah, once the ball gets old and soft and you bowl into the tail, you can probably try a few more things.
Did you feel under any extra pressure today, given that you were selected as the frontline spinner ahead of Nathan?
No, I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. I got told I was playing and just went about my business as per usual. luckily me and Nathan have a really good relationship, and there's no bitterness or anything there. If anything, it's nice to have him walking around the boundary and giving me advice, and have someone to chat to as well. So if it was in the other positions, if it was vice versa, I'd be trying to do the same thing.
Were you wondering at one stage whether it was a two-spinner pitch?
No, it didn't cross my mind. No.
So was Nathan speaking? Was he walking around the boundary and trying to give you advice?
Yeah, he came up to me a couple of times, and I just said, "What do you reckon, mate?" Simple as that, and he'd give me his ideas. And then when there was about 10 overs left, he said, "You'll play a big role here." So, yeah, good, nice to have that guy saying that. Gives you a bit of confidence. Yeah, definitely some faith there from the selectors. Obviously, I've started okay, and it was probably a pretty tough choice. Really, he's bowled well and in tough situations, and got big wickets too. So it was touch and go there, but it's nice to be able to repay the faith a little bit. I don't really feel entrenched in the 11 just yet. Obviously, we've got lots of part-time options, and when you've got the calibre of quicks that you do in the Australian team or the Australian squad, you just never know what their thinking is. Yeah, that is important to me. Obviously, there's some really big series coming up against Sri Lanka, and then there's South Africa, and obviously I think there's about 21 days coming up in the next 12 months. So to try and cement that spot's pretty important to a big 12 months. Yeah, it'd be great to be a part of. Yeah.
Just finally, it's a great learning curve as well for you ahead of the Caribbean Premier League, isn't it? Because you're obviously going to be playing on these surfaces again.
Yeah, I'm in the Caribbean for quite a bit of time. It was tough in Guyana there for a little bit, but yeah, I'm enjoying the Caribbean. I'm enjoying the wickets, and growing up watching cricket with my dad, it was always one of those tours that you watch on TV and you go and think that looks like fun and good to be a part of. So it has been.